Hello, ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Onord.
Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we're taking a break from league play to give you part of the monthly tournament. Today on Kosatritsa Rang, who do we have?
On the left-hand side in the blue, we have Puritana playing the 5th Mountain Division with a Maverick income, and right-hand side in red, we have Lord Onord playing as the first Polis with a Maverick income.
There's a very aggressive Polish breakouts here. We're going to check out some of the places that they're thinking they're going to go. I think we both know they're not going to make it there, but good lord, are they optimistic.
Yeah, just doing that classic PTRS rush. You always think of the, like, PTRS on a motorbike, just, do a drive-by and shoot it from the side cab. But apparently you can't do that.
So I'm pretty sure we'll probably throw the guy outside of the sidecar.
Or if you shoot it backwards, you could go faster. It'd be like a little boost.
Well, they're already red. The red ones do go faster.
That's
So,
good
I mean,
point.
I love having this one Burgeryager MG42 that's like, oh yes, you're going nowhere today, sir. Of course, one flame troop squad might get super close. I don't know.
Oh, one
This is
PCRS broke through. This is bizarre.
and kill the Kubelwagen.
And then here comes the Stag to clean him up. And also, North, we have a KFZ4. I don't really call it a rush, but it's definitely a pretty heavy opener. You have just all that machine gun fire and catching the infantry off guard. Yeah, that's actually very bloody effective.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, how do I put this delicately? When everything is already brokenhearted, it's really, really difficult to be super, super concerned about that, let's say.
Yeah.
Also,
We're
super
seeing
early bombing run, too. Jeez.
And super early yak, it's a super early all over the place, and super early AA, so everyone's just getting everything done right off the bat. And super early PTRS rush up north as well, actually breaking through, and that's perfect terrain for him. 3 of him, actually, oh god.
Yes. Yes. It's huge amounts. And I'm wondering, yeah, right now, okay, this Burgeryager coming on in, they're going to lose at least one squad. I'd probably say probably even 2. Just
Yeah.
knowing how that tends to be, that just the reaction speed's not going to be what it needs to be.
Yeah, the true end game in Steel Division high level play is just about sneaking anti-tank rifle squads into the enemy spawn.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely just a drive-by play consistently.
One, two,
Oh, good. 3.
3,
That guy's paid for himself.
4.
Oh, jeez, that's insane.
Yeah, that is. And when he dies, there's 2 more, which can still be a pain in the ass. So, very good little play out from Onord.
Yeah, I don't know if he really caught the fact that there is someone behind his lines there. I truly don't know.
Yeah, but he is pushing pretty, or Tanner is pushing pretty heavy in the center here. KF said attack went pretty well. Onord's been forced back quite a bit. He still has the T-34 in a good position, but at the same time, Onord is taking advantage of the northern openness and moving in a little, like, platoons rather for CQC dudes.
And he's not going to learn about this either. Look, another Gebirgsjäger in terms of the deployment.
Yeah.
Like, my friend, you have 4 burning trucks all within about, what, 50 meters of each other? This is not IL-2. This is something else happening.
Yeah, you need to get the hell out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I know I'm always banging on about all the broken heart stuff and everything like that, but at least there's some NKVD troops there to kind of keep them in line. So
Yeah,
dumping that is actually a really, really great thing.
yeah, it's kind of with the Polish penal troops, they do have the disheartening compared to the Soviet ones, so you do need to be using those NKVD troops quite effectively. I'm seeing the KFZ actually moving up north to try and deal with this, catching a few of the infantry out in the open, but the descents will be able to make it through.
Yeah. You know, I guess the other funny thing, really, about this is the KFZs. I'm trying to figure out what the heck they're putting that second machine gun.
It's
Oh
just
no,
like a dual
dual
mounted.
wielding. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just weird to see that. Just it doesn't happen. I don't
No,
know.
no,
It's
you're
very
right,
strange.
because, like, the Cooper Wagon's just one machine gun, but the KFZ's like, hey, look, you know what's better than one MG34? 2.
Multiple attackers.
Yeah.
And even better, we're gonna crank them up to NG42s because they're all 42s on that.
Oh no, they're 34s. They are 34s.
Okay, strange because a couple of them are 40.
No, see, on the
Good lord.
KFZ,
I had, oh, wow. Apparently I need to go back to the eye doctor, because I could have sworn I was looking at that. It said MG42. I don't know what the heck I was looking at there. Oh, well. Anyway, I might have been looking at the Kuppelwagen to the north. That's what it was. I was looking at the Aufklärer coming on in.
There we go,
Anyway.
that's a 42. Now we got our numbers straight.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Math is never my strong suit, folks. That's why I was never serving on the Eastern Front. But we're going to have a true Karnyval over here as these guys moving into that northern town, and just with the weight of numbers, Strafniki, I don't care if it's KF's Edge with their MT-34s, they're not going to be able to keep that back.
No, that's
No way.
way too many dudes, and also the penal troops do have all those PTRDs, so the KF's Edge and the AB-41s aren't going to be able to do too much. This is their match, their counter, so to speak.
But it's not going to stop them from trying. I have to be very, very impressed by the pluckiness from this. Of course, having pluckiness doesn't mean you're not going to get plucked, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here soon enough.
Yeah.
NKVD, for some reason, noticed it's hanging back. I think he should be moved a little further forward to at least get that aura. And
Oh, he's just a blocking detachment.
yeah, it's just, strange decisions. IL-2 coming in. Ooh.
And then
Interesting.
129 as well up north, and this Bavario, so heavy air investment. Is he gonna? I think he's going for the T-34 with the 129, but the anti-aircraft net is a bit too strong.
Yes, it is. And we're going to discover the flak 20 mils. IL-2 no care about 20 mils. IL-2 just drives through 20 mils like it's his job.
Carrying a little bit. I think he lost line of sight, I'm guessing.
Well, we brought a second one in just in case. Yeah, he's going to bring him to the north and have him fly a dogleg. Actually, I kind of love this idea.
Oh, yeah.
This plane will only be taking fire from one of the 20 mils? Yeah, I mean, maybe 2250, and I guess not. We get these bombs off, and that's going to cause more than enough kind of a cleanup here on these guys. A little bit too far, though. Yikes.
Yeah, missed that by a bit, so kind of an ineffective bombing run there. That's gonna keep the flag in Tanner's hold. It's not a very tenuous grip.
Interesting thing. Check out these Stu-42s coming into the northern side. Yes, in the first place, these are Italian tanks, so this is not exactly your usual Stu-42. But this PTRS squad should be able to actually shoot them in the flank, I would think, as they come on by.
Yeah, if he plays his cards right, that could be two very dead tanks.
Hey, tanks! I mean, especially when they're Italian ones, I hate to be that guy, but...
Oh, Khan! They're in the tank tab, so they're tanks.
Okay, so P3 is a recon vehicle.
Yes.
Because it's in the recon tab at
Yes.
some point. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the Panther as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The Recon Panther. Of course. That is an absolutely recon vehicle. That I completely agree with.
You just slap a few buses on it and it's like practically invisible. Come on.
Dude, I've seen Pentagon Wars. I know how this works. But a Veltro gets sent away packing just as quickly as a Yak-3 comes the other direction. And all of the recon troops have been cleaned up in that northern town. So, yeah, it is a Strafniki. There's a Strife squad and a Pioneer. And other than that, yeah, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, Tannis is barely holding on to his few flag positions up north, and it's really Onord's game to win in the northern flank at least. Actually not deciding to shoot the Stug 42s, actually putting them on a hold fire probably for a more, easier to kill target, I'm going to imagine here. But yeah, it's just as we've just been focusing, it's just been, a bloody CQC fight up north, just looking at the rest of the map. Even the central town, it's pretty quiet everywhere else.
I don't agree with the idea of taking that hold fire on that. To me, that screamed rear shots, which to me screams dead tanks.
I would agree as well.
But, apparently those guys didn't get the order to have, take one step backward. So, whatever. In the meantime, disarmed troops over here going to get picked off, again, because Molotov cocktails, despite being an anti-tank weapon during the war, don't mean a whole lot in this game against vehicles.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a buff to that somehow, slightly. Not a huge one, but just enough to know when it's there.
Even just a way to, panic vehicles pretty quickly, I think would be pretty fair. A T-34 getting a lot. Well, I was saying he didn't really get close. The Burgeryager's got close to him, and Tanner is slowly regaining positions up north. But the problem with pushing anywhere up north, back and forth, is that there's a whole lot of forest for partisan troops, so to speak, to take refuge. And we've got 2 descent squads behind enemy lines, which are ready to pounce at a moment's notice. Well, one of them's being pounced on because he's not moving forward.
Yeah, pouncing is a bit of a strong term here. Now Carney troops moved on in. Yikes! One getting picked up right there. What they killed that?
Panzerfaust?
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot the spares. He gets that. Yowza. Okay. I'm still not a fan of having the and the PTRS squad revealed himself to kill one more squad of Burgeryager's.
The Burgeryager's managed to unload finally to actually reverse fire at least.
Yeah, they're only leaving beside 5 trucks on the road.
Yes.
So only 100 points. That's
fine. And we got 2 Katyushas being invested, as well as a 122 mil. I mean, so we have some heavy artillery investment here from Onord. I wonder what he's going to try to do with it.
Are you kidding right now? Because at that point I was like, I could have told you this was going to happen.
Let's sing the song.
Oh yeah, they sing the song of the anti-air or the anti-air. But we have both of them setting up right about now. There's already already one 122 on the map and trying to shell those anti-air positions. And I think he's going to probably try to unmask them a little bit later. IL-2 is going to go down at long last after getting strafed by 2 of those 205s. But yeah, Katyusha's getting redeployed. Okay.
I think Onord is starting to re-gear his operations into the more central southern area, especially the investment of the S-35s and some infantry in the middle. I think maybe do a Katyusha strike in the town and then try to push on through.
Interesting, there was a Henschel run down to the south, and I don't know if he was trying to go after, what he was trying to go after, because he didn't get his run off, but there's an 85 mil down there. That is apparently quite terrifying for him.
Yeah, managed to stress him away. And Tanner's got a pretty nice position with that one slug slap bang in the middle of the map. The SU-85 will be coming in shortly and can pretty easily deal with it. It's a shame Tanner didn't get any infantry into that little farm complex, so that's a rather defensible location.
Yeah. But kind of a tough ask right there. Yeah, crew panicked as well. I don't blame them. It's a very, very scary tank destroyer, and it's going to kill pretty quickly here. There we go. MG going to engage, and I'm sure we'll get another kill over here from the Strelky, just kind of engaging that super light vehicle. Yep, there we go.
Down very quickly. But yeah, one problem, of course, playing this map heavy up north is that it's not a whole lot of flags to really take advantage of. We're 13 minutes into the match, and it's pretty even Stevens in terms of points. It's both Mavericks, so it's not that big of a deal. But really, the central area of the map in the big town complex, that's where all the juicy points can be reaped in. So I think if either side was to take advantage of that, you'd be in a pretty good position.
Oh, absolutely. And as a piece of me is kind of wondering when the heck would you get that Katyusha strike. Because for me at this point, I'd be thinking, you know what, I don't want to hit the same area. I'm going to try to spread out the entire thing and use Katyushas like they're supposed to be as suppression weapons.
Yep. Probably make some very good headway of them if he's fired right into the center. And then followed up with some infantry, but we're still seeing heavy play up north, back and forth between this, road area.
Kind of equally funny for me is the fact that there's now, after losing 5 squads, there's several squads that get Burgerjagers running around the trees trying to find and root out everything that's been behind the lines for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing about this map is you don't know, where there's enemy in the tree lines. It's way too easy for both sides to just sneak up infantry through the forest.
Here's a Katyusha barrage going after this anti-air positions. So yeah, not unexpected.
No.
Gonna be firing here in this next moment or two. Probably may not kill them, but 16 rockets is potential for it or anything.
One of them's moving a bit, but we'll have to see. I mean, these Katyusha anti-aircraft barrages are either hit or miss, and in this case, they're very much hits.
Very much.
And he's
so.
flanking. I like that. I like that a lot with the Carnies.
Yeah, and you know what? Hitting this town from the north is a lot easier of a prospect than hitting it from the east. So you're absolutely correct. It's a very, very different take than what we're used to seeing, and I appreciate seeing it.
Indeed. And down south, we're actually seeing also push here from Onord or from Karnyval as well. A little bit heavy of armor presence here. Actually, it's not too bad. The anti-tank rifles can deal with the bees, but the Stryker will be a bit of a challenge.
Challenge, yes, but not insurmountably so. Because yes, the 35 is not going to pen the 50, but you can probably just crit it to death. IL-2 in the meantime, going to take huge amounts of ground fire from another set to 20 mils. Didn't we see them go on? I saw the other twos go down, so I was a little surprised by that. But it's still 14-10, so not hard to really champion Onord's current position.
Yeah, it feels like Onord definitely has the momentum in this match. I think at Northern Pete, I mean, just look up north. You have like a whole company's almost worth of German infantry trying to rout out four dudes.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely slowing down Tanner's counter-attack play. But Onord is definitely now pushing in the center down south and up north. It's definitely leading in terms of momentum.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, those guys hunting around the trees over there, and another IL-2 goes down, which is just strange to me to see more than one IL-2 actually die.
Yeah.
Reminds me very much like Great Escape, you know, with Steve McQueen trying to make the fence jump, and suddenly there's just like companies of Germans chasing after him at the Swiss border. Feels very much like that right now. Two dudes running around the PTRS being chased by half the Wehrmacht.
And still, Tanner holds onto that far northern flag, probably not for long, as Onord is finally making the push into the Burgerjagers. And that's, yeah, give him a nice sort of +1 point advantage.
Well, he's been sending a +1 point advantage every now and again here for a good chunk of time. The Aufklärer are going to go down pretty quickly, yes. And the Burgerjager, who are they actually engaging? The Sans. Oh, yeah, because the Sans had those Papa Shahs.
Yeah. Then just already far down south, we're seeing that little armor push.
Oh, are we? I was looking at the Carney thing as they were trying to get engaged here in the meantime. NKVDs, yep, not too much they can do right now. But there's a 45 mil sitting in defilade. And here we go. He's not going to get too many shots off, but he should be able to take out an AP-41. Or not. Why are you firing APCR shells? Dear Lord.
It's the AI for you. But we're seeing a pretty big like armor investment down south here from Onord to the two T-34s and SU-85s. So I'd be curious to see if he's going to try and follow up his this attack with his own counter-attack.
Well, there's an LJ-42 that's kind of engaging some infantry positions right now. He just killed the NKVD, which is not what you want to be seeing, of course. But regardless, ooh, the 42 and the 85 are engaging each other with the T-34s in support. I imagine, yep, armor crack. And that push is dead right now. I'm sorry. That's not going to go anywhere.
We got the Burgerjagers pushing through, but with this armor support coming in, I don't feel like they're gonna make that much progress.
You keep saying Burgerjagers, and all I keep thinking about it is like little children with like MG34s right now.
I keep thinking of Burgerjagers.
Ah, okay.
Like they're gonna serve me a Big Mac.
Ooh. Actually, you're from the northern side, so is that a Royale with cheese for you, or is it still a Big Mac?
Oh, Big Mac. We're not in our parts of the country.
I thought I was to say you use the proper actual thing though in terms of kilograms. That makes more sense to me. But fair enough. Okay, Burgerjagers are going to move into that force. They're going to take that town, bring it back to flag, bring it back to a 12-12. Again, though, that's all well and good. Yes, there's 75 mils that can be able to engage these frontline positions here. In fact, ooh, no, they're looking for the 122s.
Yeah, it's actually quite a heavy investment in artillery, even though they are very cheap at only 45 points. So not that heavy, it's a light rate. Anyway, I'm not going to try to get into that. But it is pretty good to see, because he needs to get some counter battery up and running, because these 122s, these Katyusas, can prove to be a huge pain in the ass, especially in the central area of the map, where the German forces are much more concentrated. They can cause a whole lot of damage if they don't get shut down.
These are like IG-18 clones, I feel like. These are the German pack howitzers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like mountain howitzers, so they're like light rate. So, you know, some poor German SOB can disassemble it into parts and bring it up the Urals.
They're also apparently in line of sight for the Su-85. This is a problem. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is very much a problem. SU-85 can see those artillery positions, so they've got to get out of there and right quick. Um, Looking back at that kind of town push, it's not ideal right now, but the strifes are doing decently enough, I suppose.
Yeah, it's slow and steady progress here, but I don't feel like you're going to make any more progress just because of the constant barragement of the 122s. And we're seeing the Katyusha is actually going to be doing a counter battery fire on the 75 mils. So we'll see if they get lucky once again with their rocket strike.
That I absolutely agree with, though. Like, again, ooh, T-34 goes down thanks to the stroke in the south. In fact, the 85 is down too, isn't it? Yeah, the 85 is down as well. Jeez.
This is a
Jeez.
potentially good counterattack here for Tanner.
Yeah, I'm kind of stunned by this, as are those artillery pieces. It's artillery, yeah, if those guys make it out of there, they need to buy lottery tickets. And buy lottery tickets they shall. Yikes. But T-34s, SU-85, all dead. There are just AP shells over here in the meantime. I wonder if we're going to see some more armored fighting vehicles being deployed to the southern side. There's definitely T-34Es for it.
Yeah.
And there's one of these as well.
Even just a few more anti-tank guns would help out Onord quite a bit. Because, yeah, those two Stugs are quite deadly, especially in this sort of matchup where, neither side has that many heavy tanks, or really tanks to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think IL-2s are starting to make a much better idea right about now, which is hit the front lines, don't go super deep. That's why you have the artillery, and that make that. There's no reason for it to go super crazy.
Yeah, just between them and the artillery, like keeping the German jet bay in the center. And Onord, I mean, it's really just been a battle of +1 flag advantage, but Onord is slowly taking away here on Tanner. And, this is Maverick, so we're going to start seeing a slowdown of both armies that it just becomes more bloody expensive to get more troops. And, okay, Universal Carrier Push, let's see how this goes.
Oh, wait, I missed the universal carrier. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna watch the bloodbath in the south. As Gebirgsjäger, MG42 and Gebirgsjägers are just going to try to engage all of these Carnies. And they'll do very well against just the Carney troops. Those, like you said, more or less conscripts are not going to be very happy. But the Stroke squad kind of there to kind of stiffen up the back is going to be more than enough. The Stroke's not going to want to get super aggressive with that because you can still get plinked to death, so...
Yeah, it's going to need a bit more infantry if you want to clear out our position once again, but he does have the armor advantage. We're also seeing Tanner put a little bit in the center here with a Stug 3G. If he was, just to get a bit more infantry as well in the center, just to hold some of these key flag positions, he could really tip the scales into his favor.
Curiously, these Breda 20 mils are a lot better than I was going to give them credit for becoming.
Yeah, honestly, all the 20 mils have been working pretty well here from Tanner. The Burgerjagers don't get a whole lot in regards to heavy anti-aircraft weaponry, but they can spam out those 20 mils.
What I even love more is that the plane gets pushed away and all 20 mils are moving. Because look when that 122 is starting to engage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, too bad. So sad. Not going to go anywhere near the front line.
Good bombing strike down south here from Tanner.
Spalvier coming on in. Just enough stress to push him off target.
Yep. But he needs the infantry, and he's been pretty forced to just keep spamming infantry up north as Tanner is, for the life of me, is holding on to his crossroads all the way up north for dear life. Like, it's an absolute bloodbath.
Too. A couple of cheeky pickups over there that flagged all the way to the west. Probably shouldn't really even be in his control. It was a 15 out. It was 16-8 a couple seconds ago. But now we're going to see the Bergsjägers trying to get their fire lit over here by the Superior Rock Squads, and it'll be very, very scary.
And, yep, those rocks will rock the road, and that pretty much tips it over to Onord's favor here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a couple of very, very optimistic territory controls that are happening here, but regardless, southern side, be fascinating to see. The 34 can engage the Stug, and very much out of position in my mind. Is this gun going to be more than enough? Taking out one as one universal carrier goes down.
Oh, that's a very good investment with the Zis. Really just
Yes.
using anti-tank guns in the center here for Onord. It probably makes more sense than the T-34s, as the Zis guns, Zis 3s or Zis 2s, so it's this case, it's Zis 3s in this case. You know,
Yeah.
much better ambush potential, pretty much.
Well, as a policeman, is kind of wondering how much this turns into like a who's on first kind of thing. Was like, what is this? A gun? What is this? Yes,
This
it's a
gun.
gun. Yeah, this gun. Yes. What is its name? This.
Where is this gun? Zap one over here.
That's Ruben. And thus our comedic corner ends for this particular cast. Which, Burgeryager's in the meantime, though, they are going to take that tree line, and for now they're going to hold it, but they've got to do more than just hold it. They've got to be able to aggress, and right now there's not a whole lot of aggression.
Yeah, it's gonna get pretty hard at its point forward. I mean, up north, I mean, Onord had... Oh, actually, Tano somehow snapping back that flag up north. He's just holding on to that crossroads for dear goddamn life. But all the Superiors are all over the place. And they can cause quite a bit of a havoc for the reinforcements, as we can clearly see.
I think what's happening here is we're seeing the Polish kind of number starting to run out. Because again, if you look at the actual decks, I think there's one card over here for C for Tanner. But
Yeah,
for Nord, he's got nothing past B.
that's a very good point, yeah. That C-phase infantry card can really make it or break it in these Maverick on Maverick matches. I mean, we're still seeing a lot of IL-2 spam, which is really the, you know, Polish speciality in this case. And it's back to a Trove, so I think if Tanner was to make a good push in the center, just try to capture like one or two flags, like in the south of the central town in that one farmstead, he should be in a good position, because that's going to be hard for Onord to counterattack.
Well, I think we're seeing the reason for the Universal Carrier rush is because they bring a lot of firepower, comparatively speaking, to what they cost.
And Recon. That's also
True.
a nice bonus.
True. IL-2's in the meantime making a run on the northern side because there's no air cover over there until now with a lot of Bredas, which again, 8 Bredas. Wow. How to forget that they get that many there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised with all the firepower. Yeah, see the Bredas, they chase off one squad and immediately it's like, okay guys, time to book it to a different zip code.
Relocate. Got to stay mobile.
And southern side, the 122 that's down there has absolutely devastated the Burgerjagers. Look how many of them are left. 4 dudes who are just like hugging each other and ready to put their head between their knees. That is just a brutal amount of firepower.
Yeah, those 122s have definitely been a very worthwhile investment, because they've just shut down really any central plays here from Tana. And it's starting to look like Onord will be in a position to actually make some very good gains in this central town, just thanks to this Universal Carrier T-34 combo.
Yeah, 14-10 off the back of Universal Carriers. That is not who I expected to actually beat carrying, despite them having that in their name.
Yes. They're not even carrying troops right now, for Christ's sake.
True.
They're just carrying
No.
binoculars.
Curiously, we have a Katyusha strike on the Stug.
That is a curious run. You're not like gonna really counterattack the Stug. I guess he just doesn't want it pushing in the center, but yeah, not the most worthwhile, you know, Katyusha strike.
Wasn't it worthwhile?
Yeah. Yes.
Another Spaviero attack on the northern side. Takes out a good portion of the forest. Unfortunately, doesn't touch the Superiority whatsoever. Now, Burgerjagers, well, they're a teensy bit stressed. There's going to be this beautiful crossfire, almost literally. As we have a rock coming one way with the DPs on the other. Never mind, he surrendered just in time. Wow.
The other Geb, I'm just gonna call him Burgeryager. Getting
Oh come on, you got the Burgerjagers. Like it was actually quite cute.
Gebergsjager. Am I saying it right?
Gebergsjager, yeah.
Gebergsjager.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're almost like stuttering as you say it.
Oh. Or
When are you also getting forced back? Curious. And the IL-2 eager for some, how do I put this mildly? Looking for a little bit of revenge here. Is just going to drop a couple bombs and likely... Ooh, wow! I thought that was actually going to have a little bit more impact literally and figuratively.
Hmm.
That was not to be the case. Regardless, though, we're still at a 15-9 over here from Onord over Tanner, and Fusiliers are starting to get brought on in, so I'm wondering if the Gebirgsjägers are starting to run low over here as well.
Yeah, I mean, both sides have been taking pretty heavy casualties all over. And Onord is just in some really good geographic positions. At one little uh, location just northwest of the town. I mean, that one Strotsky is pretty much pinning down the Stug right now. Yeah, that's a very sneaky position to be in.
Well, this Strug has no tracks. The tracks were destroyed in this, like,
Oh,
literally 10 minutes ago.
so he's
So
just
he's going
useless.
nowhere.
And he
Yes.
can't even see the guy shooting him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not sure he knows the crit in this particular case. Otherwise, I'd have him just, like, walk around the backside. But what have you. Regardless, this is well done for them.
Onord just
And
has insane momentum.
yeah, which is weird because the Poles are not exactly a momentum group. This is a we take and hold and then pray to the good, Lord Lenin that we actually survive long enough to actually have this be a problem. This is in
Indeed.
my opinion. It is in my opinion. I feel like the Poles are really, really light.
Yeah, they
They're
are, they
not.
are pretty light. They don't have like a whole lot of like heavy stuff, like anti-tanks rise or whatnot, but they're very
Mhm.
good in CQC, and as we see in this map, especially up north, you can just spam those infantry, spam the IL-2s, and you're just kind of throwing off bodies. Even though they don't have any C-phase infantry, it's been just enough.
Well, and the weird thing for me is that the universal carriers continue to be as dominant as they are. Like that should not be happening. A 20-point, taxi with less armor than a Bob Semple tank should not be able to be this successful. And yet, here we are. In fact, we've seen success for scout vehicles on both sides now, which is really, really fun to see.
You see, the Germans should have kept the anti-tank rifle in service.
Yeah, the Panzerbusch that would have been really crazy.
Instead, they just turned it into a rear grenade launcher.
That's right. That's what
Yeah,
this is what happened, isn't it? I kind of forgot
yeah, the
about that
60
part.
mil thing. It's like used like by pioneers for demolitions and stuff.
I do need to note in the south we actually have a rather hefty push. Those Bredas that I thought were redeploying to get away from artillery barrage, no, he's using them as an attack force. Actually, I love this move.
At this point, Hannah just needs to really full send, like down south or in the center, because he's just slow, or not slowly, it's kind of quickly at this point, losing positions up north. I mean, just zooming out and looking at the map, it's definitely a bit more red than there is to blue.
Yeah, and there's actually just a couple of kind of gift flags that are going to be happening here because there's not a whole lot left to send.
Oh,
More Gebirgsjäger squads being thrown on in, and between the Universal Carriers, the Carney, the Stelky, and the T-34, they're not going to have a whole lot to be done. They can't get close enough for the anti-tank vehicles, the anti-tank grenades, excuse me, so T-34 has nothing to fear. Yeah, things will get chipped away, but at what cost and what timetable? It's going to take a really, really long time for that to happen.
yeah. And the southern push is going to get slowed down by Strelky DP squads being brought into position. I mean, that one Stug and all the Breeders, they are scary, but once you get infantry into the forest, they can be hard to rout out. And yeah, the S-85 is going to be a pretty good counter to said Stug.
True. The 122, the Hero 122 down here is going to get pushed off, probably even killed. Regardless, very, very well done on this Onord push. I did not expect the Poles to actually be able to survive this long. I expected it very, very quick and merciless. Kind of massacre earlier here. Katyusha close barrage. Love that. And then a barrage on the southern push. Completely whiffs, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's going to be greeted quite rudely in a little bit if he decides to push through. Or even not, the Strelky DPs can come in and side shot it.
S-85, I think, unfortunately, is going to be the aggressive play, which may not be the best one, since they're going to just get forced back out of panicking. Yep, there we go. Goes the Stoke,
Oh! It's that
and
lucky shot.
yikes! And the other 20 mils are just going to go down like crazy. Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is over. If we don't see a tap soon, I'd be very, very surprised. Yep, there we go.
GG.
A little bit over, about 1400 here, so pretty solid kind of KD.
Yeah. And then looking at the kills, yeah, 1 PTRS, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Stooge. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. T-34, holy moly, he
That was the
shot.
northern one, took out the whole scout push.
Yeah, and another T-34 doing decent, but nothing that crazy. Else tries on the kill list.
On the loss list, I mean, one Stug picking up 4 ground kills, which is quite impressive. But other than that, I mean, like you said, not a much to be said over here from, let's say, the standouts from the Gebruggs squad. Regardless, though, really well fought on both sides, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, both sides actually, once we get past that initial 10-minute phase, actually started playing the rest of the map. But Onord just really hounded home that northern push and just, slowly sneaking in the flags here and there. And yeah, just got the better terrain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But any final thoughts here, sir?
No.
Folks, in that case, then you know what that means. We're actually going to bring you another monthly tournament over here on Thursday. You don't want to miss that match. But until then, I'm Karnyval.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.